Okay. Hello. Hello, everyone. I hope everyone's okay. It is September 27th, and that means it is the end of the month, roughly. And it's time for my end of the month hangout that I do. How is everyone on this chill day? Hello. If you're new to the format, if you're new to a hangout, if you're a new patron or a new follower of mine, the way this works is that I just hang out for a bit and we just talk. And there are no rules. No rules, just straight out back hangout. And it's nice. We just hang out, we just talk, we just chill. What we do try to sort of do, we're going to try to reflect on the month that has been and the month that comes ahead. Now, usually when I do that, I try to have like the video for the month be out before I do these streams, but this it's like almost a full week left of this month, and my next video is due out on the 30th. So, you know, we still have some few days left before that happens. But it's still been an eventful week, month. So we just hang out. But I think my last hangout was actually before my most recent video came out too. Which, you know, has gone okay-ish. It did well. It didn't do as well as I was hoping, but it also didn't turn out really the way I was hoping. So, you know, take some, you lose some. But at the same time, it's gone pretty well. Can't complain. September is also like notoriously rough month for YouTube, and also in times of great distress in America, so to say, people tend to watch less YouTube because the news take up everything. Mia Mulder. That meme will never die, will it? Also, it seems like everyone's having issues with the stream quality, which is bad because according to me, things should be going well. My set. I mean, it's not a stream unless it's issuey. Is there? Yeah, because here on my end things should be well, but YouTube is telling me it's not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. So that's not great. I apologize for that. I do not control the rate at which YouTube receives data, unfortunately. So how have people been? What's the Mia Mulder meme? So, like months ago, someone said something sort of, Ed Balls tweeted out his own name. I think like in I want to see when Ed Balls Day was. Hang on. When is Ed Balls Day? Yeah, on 28th of April 2011, Ed Balls tried to search for himself on Twitter, but accidentally tweeted out his own name and just tweeted out Ed Balls. And because he was unaware of being unable to tweet it out, he just what's it called? The tweet just remained where it was. So I, in a moment of stunning humor, decided to steal that joke and just tweeted out my own name, just Mia Mulder, as a joke. But then it sort of stuck around, and now people are doing it like ironically. So. But people still do it. And as long as people keep doing it, it's gonna like stay a meme. And like, I haven't done enough to like discourage it, even though I should, but I don't. Also, I hope you're all having a good day. I'm trying to find like some nice, chill, lo-fi, like jazz music, so we can just sort of vibe. Because that's what these streams are supposed to be. They're supposed to be the most vibey thing that there is. We just hang out. Stressed out, time is accelerating. Yeah, that. Lord knows I feel you. Started work again after 2 years sitting on my arse. Well, you know, sometimes everyone just needs a break. If you look at my own YouTube history, you see that there are like, what, 7 months where I don't make a video? That's because I burnt out. But I came back, more powerful than ever, and that's sometimes the way you have to look at it. And sometimes, you know, it doesn't work out, and that's fine too. Wheezy ball of germs, I've been there. Have I played a tabletop RPG like D&D? I used to be a dungeon master for D&D quite a few times, and I really miss doing it. Like I really miss like D&D, and I feel like I was just starting to sort of get back into it right around when COVID hit, and then, you know, suddenly no one wants to hang out anymore because of viruses and shit. But I've been kind of hoping to sort of find a new sort of D&D grouping, and I feel like it shouldn't be that hard considering that I'm willing to be a dungeon master. But what do you call it? I'm hoping that maybe I can like swing some connections with other YouTubers to see if maybe they want to do something, because I feel like a lot of YouTubers, everyone just feels like they don't have time to do anything. They only have time to talk to other YouTubers, so maybe I have to talk to other YouTubers to do that, thus making the circle even worse. It seems harmless. It does seem harmless. I think it is harmless, but it's also like I feel like it's only a problem when I like comment on other people's like streams or their YouTube premieres, for example. I just say something and then people start repeating my name in the chat, which is like not, you know, that's not really about the video or the stream that I'm joining, because I'm like an audience member in that case, and I want to be an audience member, but I can't because people are saying my name. Seems like you're having lag again. Why? Is my internet connection that fucky today? Am I making this worse somehow? No. I guess it's just... Today's just one of those days. YouTube, come on, get off your back. Video turned to carp. Okay. Can I change the settings somehow? I cannot. Why not? Okay. I'm not allowed to burn out, have to be constantly productive or bad things will happen in life. I hope that changes. I hope you will reach a point soon where you can have a break. Use Roll20. I try to use Roll20, but I don't really get how it works. I'm like super traditionalist when it comes to like pen and paper role-playing games. I just really like having just physical books. I would love to have physical books within sort of like a D&D like sheet, because I just feel you get further with that, and even it just feels like a bit more real. Even when you're playing like online with other people, I feel like just having the book just makes it more real, because it's easier for me to like sort of disappear into my own fiction, so to say. Collab with Natalie? We'll see. I feel like maybe the drama has died down now to a point where I could actually like mention Natalie without people spamming my inbox with accusations one way or another. But at the same time, I think that she's, yeah, like in a pinch, I can get Bomber Guy or PhilosophyTube to sort of do a voice in my videos. Got Jim Sterling to do a voice in my videos, but I feel like Natalie is like a class in her own right. Like she's in some other completely other tier of YouTube that I'm in, so I'm not sure I could swing that, maybe, but I doubt it. Not for my next video though. That is, I really doubt I could get a hold of her to collab in the span of 3 days. D&D Boomer. Social anxiety, yeah, I feel that. Left 2 D&D sessions, oh my god. On one end, that would be sort of my dream, but on the other end, I feel like there would be too much drama on one end, and I feel like everyone in sort of left tube spaces are far too like stressed, or I don't know, sort of high strung to sort of be able to do that sort of things. But maybe. Everyone gets cancelled through the D&D group. I've talked to a few other YouTubers. I don't know that many though. That would be, yeah. Like I definitely don't know many, and I feel like I know more than most people do. But there are so many that I don't know, and that I never even talked to. Things changed since the left does not care about trans women video? Not really. No, I don't think so. I think I think details have changed, because I made that video in like a rage fueled sort of mania almost, because I distinctly remember like sitting on my couch and being like, and reading about people canceling Chelsea Manning and being like, why are people doing this? This makes no sense. This is just clearly a series of misunderstandings, but why are people like so quick to judge? Which is why a lot of the details in the video are about Chelsea Manning. And then people promptly forgot about that a few seasons later. But I feel like a lot of like the general points that I make and the things that some people, because I still see that video being shared around in some spaces, and I would have to guess it's about those general points. I think those still kind of stand. I think I would like to revisit that video someday though, like a remake, a remaster of that video. It could be fun, actually. I'm gonna put that in my to-do list, simply because I mean, I have a ton of lists to do, but I feel like that's a spicy topic, and spicy topics are nice. Electric Boogaloo. Found an album that could be his background music for streams, and even if not a bootlegger, just to know if I feel like if it's just covering them. Just to know, I feel like. And if it is just for his covering his name. What album is that? Background music for streams. If it's you know, if it's non-copyright or if it's attributable, then I go for it. I realized very quickly getting into YouTube when I started doing it as a career that if you don't have the correct rights for something, then you can't use it at all. I almost got a copyright strike for a video, one of my first videos, and it scared me to bits. YouTube stop being a wanker. Yeah, that's a... Please, I would love YouTube to stop being a wanker. I mean, I don't know. Things have definitely changed. I feel like the left doesn't care about trans women is sort of like a very proto video of cancel culture. What's it called? Like, I feel like the sort of cancel culture discussion really kicked off in like late 2019 and like early 2020, and people really started talking about it then. And I feel like my video on the left doesn't care about trans women is a sort of a video on the same sort of like basic ideas as cancel culture, but like as they were like back then, and it's sort of in its infancy to what would become right now. What about a LeftTube D&D one-shot charity thing? I would love that. I would love it. I'm still planning like my own charity thing soon. It's just that like the planning completely fell apart on that. But I'm still planning to do it. And I'm just trying to find the time for it. Hopefully before the end of the year. I'm gonna try to do some sort of big charity event where I play one video game for like a week straight and become dehydrated. Hi, I'm new to your channel. Watch your video about Trump and fascism and absolutely loved it. Great content. Appreciate everything you do. Keep up the good work. Thank you. I live for this praise. Thank you. That's what I need. That sort of praise sustains me. And that's, you know, all sorts of content, all sorts of feedback and content and support, everything is good. But those sorts of compliments, that's what sustains us. All love to her. The very long stream, yeah, I'm still planning on it. I kind of swept it under the rug after all my planning sort of collapsed, but I'm still planning to do it. I just don't know when. What season of Star Trek TNG am I on? I just finished season 1. And I'm so happy I did, because it's so bad. Oh god, season 1 of Star Trek The Next Generation is like incredible, because they don't know really what they want to be yet. They don't know if they want to be like the dramatic version of Star Trek, or if they want to like do a continuation of what's it called, of the original series. They have no idea what the Ferengi are going to be like. They imply that they're going to eat people. It's weird. Yeah, like it's chaotic anyway. But I love it. There's one episode which I still can't get over, and I kind of want to make a vlog rant about it, or like a stream for 2 hours where I just rant about it, where they encounter 2 planets where one planet is symbolic of drug addiction, because the entire planet is an entire planet full of drug addicts, and one planet is a metaphor for drug dealers whose only income is by selling drugs to the drug dealer. And they have like this weird thing where Wesley sits and like, why do people do drugs? And another character is like, well, people do drugs because they feel nice, but they feel like an escape, but they're not an escape, and you should just say no and look into the camera and like, drugs are bad. And then the episode ends with like Picard giving the drug addict planet the drugs, because that's kind of the thing because they intercept some drugs on the way there, and there's an argument about should they deliver the drugs or shouldn't they, or how best do you follow the prime directive of non-interference, and they just decided like, no, we should let the drug addicts have their drugs, but they will run out of drugs, and we know this, and they will go through withdrawal and undergo horrible suffering, and this is a good thing. It's like potentially dooming both planets in the process. Anyway, did you mention anything about my upcoming video? It's coming along well. It's coming along great. It's coming along well. It's I feel like it's a different sort of video than what I usually do, but I think it can be good. And this is a good thing. It's only a good thing in the show. I was watching this and was like, what? What? Picard becomes a drug trafficker. And like they even said in the show that they can be like, we can create the thing to sort of like wear them off the drug slowly and like help them with like harm reduction. And then it's just like, no, you can't do that, because then they will become, they have to pull themselves up by their own bootstraps. They have to beat their own addiction by themselves, and we cannot help them. So that's why we have to do this. And it was like, the shit, and it's such a like 90s view on drug addiction, and it's very much one of those episodes that I feel was pushed by the studio to be like, hey, we need to make a drug episode and be like, hey, don't do drugs, this is how you beat the drugs. It's wild. It wasn't a good episode generally, honestly. But yeah, my video is coming along well. It's a bit different from what I usually do, but I still hope it's pretty good. It's a sort of like, it's a bit of a COVID introspection, sort of. There are many things layered into it, but there's one, whatever. It's a Mia Mulder video, you'll like it. I should also say, I'm going to keep the stream a like tiny bit shorter today because I have some stuff to do after the stream is over, and if I go the full hour, I'm not going to be able to make the time. So I'm going to quit the stream a bit earlier today, but I'm going to make it up to you by like adding like an extra hour to a future stream, or maybe having an extra stream or something like that. Like I'll make it up to you. Remind me to be like, you promised us another 20 minutes, and then I will do another 40 because I love you. But just so you know, I'm going to keep it a bit shorter today. You holding up okay personally? I am. Sustained isolation is rough, and stress from work is very rough. But I'm doing actually fine. I just need to remember. I just need to go to bed before midnight and stay off Twitter, and then everything's fine. Staying on Twitter is bad. Don't go to Twitter. Twitter is bad. Are we gonna get more incest sex cults? Yes, you are. You're gonna have so many incest sex cults. So many incest sex cults. Where did that comment go? Yes, there we are. The left and people with disabilities, but I never talk about the left and people outside of weird discourse groups, so I'm not exactly the best person to judge. I feel like you can judge the left, or like left online discourse very well, just depending on like what social sphere you're in. Like if you're in the sort of like content leftist creator sphere, like I am, you know, you can take a few examples and sort of like do a critique of that. Some YouTubers even do a critique of individual other YouTubers, and that's fine too, unless it's me. Well, it's okay if people criticize me too, but it scares me. YouTube keeps eating buildings. Mysterious flying orchestra. I am going to look that up after the stream. Thank you very much. Season 1 of Voyager. Yeah, Season 1 of Voyager is rough too. Picard becomes a drug trafficker. DS9 has Sisko committing war crimes. Yes, however, Sisko deals with the fact that he does war crimes in a like nuanced way. Whereas Picard deals drugs, and then the next episode is like, cool, time to eat worms. What's the silliest scandal of Swedish politics you can think of? I don't remember the details of it, but there was a female politician who bought a Toblerone for government money, and she had to resign. It was like 20 crowns. But she used I think she used like the wrong card, or she willingly like bought a Toblerone. I think it was actually like a bigger scandal than that, but people focused on the Toblerone part because that's silly. But I think that's kind of silly. Thoughts on the Prime Directive in general, J&A? I think the way they do it in the show Star Trek: The Next Generation is not that bad. Like I agree that like non-interference with primitive cultures is like generally a good thing. Like don't fuck with people unless they ask to be fucked with. But at the same time, I feel like they're a bit like hardliner sometimes, where it's like, no, we have to let them starve, we have to let them just die because Prime Directive. And it's like, you're clearly not upholding the spirit of it. Like, the spirit of the Prime Directive is that to make sure that a culture sort of survives on its own and can develop on its own for the good of that culture. But obviously that's not going to happen if the culture just fucking dies. So, it makes no fucking sense. Twitter's addictive. I know! And why is it so addictive when it's so bad? I don't get it. Your video on concentration camps completely changed the way I understand political debates about terminology. I'm so glad! That's a big part of why I made that video. Twitter is also good sometimes. That's true. Sometimes. The next Star Trek Discovery episode should be social media. Yeah, I agree. Wacky COVID conspiracy theories. Just that begins to show your support, and the first thing I hear is incest cult. Yes, we will be creating more incest cults. So there's if you don't know, for context, there's a game called Crusader Kings 3 where you play as a medieval feudal lord. And the feature in the new game is that you can create your own heresy of Christianity, or any sort of religion, really. Heresies for all. Oops, all heresies. And what I created was an incestuous sex cult. Because I can. I think my current king is called Virgin, because I named him Virgin, because his elder brother, who was supposed to be my heir, was called Chad, so I named him Virgin. And then it turned out that Virgin was actually like a really good ruler, so he became the heir and united all of the British Isles and Norway, because why not? Even comrades angry on Twitter without meaning to. People get angry on Twitter for like no fucking reason. Like I try not to take it personally when people get angry on Twitter at me, because it's like, the current government of region was impeached for corruption this month. 69 votes for impeach and 0 against. Nice. Thoughts on Ruth Bader Ginsburg? I don't know enough about Ruth Bader Ginsburg. I tweeted out a pretty bad take because I had no idea about all the shady shit that she apparently did. Just didn't know at all. So I'm still kind of sort of getting informed. I think it's bad to sort of put judges on a pedestal, and obviously in a system where the death of an individual can lead to like decades of unstable democracy, it's probably a pretty bad system, and maybe America should like reform its system. However, I also think that things will obviously get worse now. So like, things were already bad, but her death is somehow worse, and I think that's sort of a I think that's probably my take, but I'm still getting educated about it. I don't know that much. Croatian President Zoran Milokovic had revelations about the secret club. Was in quarantine at the club. Oh, latest scandal. It aggressively bores me. No, I get it. Star Trek is one of those things that you either love or you hate. I've never seen anyone who's like, yeah, Star Trek is alright. I freaking love it. RBJ is a saint compared to the Amy Comey Barrett, though. I need to look into her. I haven't had time to check her out there since her announcement, like, at all. I've been like too busy with other shit. Of the 3 Swedish YouTubers I know, you are by far the best. The other 2 are PewDiePie and the Golden Guy. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, my country hasn't had that much of a great legacy online when it comes to like good YouTubers, and I'm sorry for that. The Star Trek centrist. Beta. We do not speak. It's fine. Yeah, we do not know. But how extremely awful was actually like she's either a saint or a little monster. I feel like nuance is like one of these things that's really dying in modern political discourse, because it's like it really sucks, you know. I think it's possible to say that like the death of Ruth Bader Ginsburg is a bad thing, but also that like she could do better on many different ways, like distinctly. And yet, one of the largest Dutch YouTubers recently decided to declare the corona stuff a hoax. Oh yeah, some Swedish YouTubers have done that as well. Like some pretty big ones have like revived their channels by being COVID hoaxers. Swedish YouTubers tend to be very cringe. Yeah, I'm not turning the trend on that one. I am very cringe. Intentionally so, by the way. Which makes it not cringe. I'm kidding. Would you ever want to be a professor? You already had the aesthetics like that. I've done some guest lecturing and I've been a substitute teacher, but not a professor. But I've done some guest lecturing over time, and I feel like that what's it called? That was fun. And I feel like I'm going to come back to academics one day. Like I feel like I'm not done with that. I have a lot of stuff left to do. But right now I'm very happy with where I am doing YouTube and sort of like still establishing myself. I'm coming up in 2 years of doing this professionally, which incredible, amazing. That's unheard of. But, you know, I feel like I would be a very fun professor. And I'm not sure I would be a very good one. Favorite time period in history? The 1840s. Very interesting period in time. I mean, the 1880s are pretty good too. 1880s and like the 80s and 90s and the 1800s are probably the more intense ones, but I like the 1840s and 1850s because that's sort of where the foundations of the things that happen at the turn of the century sort of start up. So it's not mainstream yet, but it's like coming. Trying and failing to post this YouTuber past behind it. If I ever go into politics, I'm never letting my YouTube past stay behind me. I'm gonna brag about that in political debates if I can. If you ever had the chance to be a lecturer in community college, don't. I know from experience. I don't think we have community college here. I think all college is community college. I'm not sure. Maybe. But if a community college takes me to be Springtime of Nations time, very interesting time. Horrifying. Completely horrifying. One of the worst periods of human history, really. Like that's when European exploitation really kicks into overdrive. And just your awful, mostly European ideas of like race theory and those sort and like psychology and medicine become weird. 1840s AD, because the 1840s BC were amazing. I can imagine. I don't know that much about BC. That's not my territory. Bosnia is trying to do a Swedish model for COVID. Don't. I still don't understand why some people think that Sweden did well. We still have like far higher death counts than our neighboring countries. We have one of the highest like death per thousands in the world. Like I think we're doing worse than America when it comes to like death per capita, which again is not the metric that you're supposed to use, but still. And I think, however, sort of with that, I'm gonna have to sort of call it. I think I'm gonna have to call it early. So let's do it like this. I'm going to do my sort of ending spiel, talk about like future videos, future streams, all that stuff, and then I'm gonna catch up with the chat as quick as I can, and then I'm gonna have to go because I have some stuff that I have to do, and I'm not gonna be able to do this right now. But I adore this, and I adore streaming. So if you have questions or just comments or whatever that you want me to see, or you know, whatever, it's no rules. You can do whatever you want. Just drop it in the chat and I'll read it. So my next video is going to come out on Wednesday the 30th, hopefully, unless something happens, but that's my hope. If you're a patron of $20 higher than that, you should be able to see it either very early on Wednesday or late on Tuesday, depending on what time zone you are. And you should be able to watch it early because that's a new perk that I have. If you're not interested in that, I'm also streaming on Twitch on Tuesdays and Thursdays on evenings most of those days now. I'm actually getting better with streaming on those days now. And that's where I do the incest sex cults. And my next sort of Patreon streams that I'm gonna do, they're gonna take, I think it's gonna take like 2 weeks before I do that, because I do them in the middle of next month. So, but I always publish a timetable on Patreon that is public, that you don't have to be a patron to see that. In case you want to know when my streams happen. And if you are interested in becoming a patron, you can do that, and all patrons get access to me doing a react stream once a month. Don't know the date when that's gonna happen yet. And if you're $5 patron or more, you also get access to like more Ask Me Anything streams that I do twice a month. And obviously, you don't have to be a patron because you can always come to these streams that I do once a month, or on Twitch, or whatever. I do a lot of streams, I realize. Okay, let's catch up, because I have to do that. Substitute Mia walks in. Yeah, it would be fun. What YouTubers do I watch? I watch a lot of like left 2B stuff, but recently I haven't really watched that many YouTube people. I'm just gonna do a quick check to see who's in my history. What is in my history? Vlogbrothers. Watch a bit of them. SciShow. I watch ISAR Productions for like Hearts of Iron videos, but I don't think that they're super good, but they're like nice having backgrounds. Felix getting tried on Reddit by Hash. Will you upload old Twitch streams to your channel? I will. I've been falling behind on that, but I will. I think I missed a few streams to do that, which is unfortunate, and I'm very sorry about that. However, I'm gonna try to upload as many streams as I can. I'm gonna go through that as soon as I can. I do like having a sort of like, what's it called, like backlog, because they're just nice to have. Vlogbrothers, this is nice. Just got here. Sorry, I'm leaving soon. How has Sweden done on COVID? Bye. And that is bad. It's on bad. I said bye. That wasn't. I meant to say bad. It's on bad. Very bad. But I have to leave now. It's been great streaming. I have to leave. You get an extra strong stream, let's say. I promise. You get that. You get a very much longer stream next time. But I do have to leave. This has been a 40-minute stream, a bit shorter than usual, but still pretty good. And again, I promise next stream is going to be significantly longer, so you can torture me as much as you want, or make me watch videos, or ask me about incestuous sex cults, and hopefully they've grown even more powerful and had even more incest in them. But take care of each other, take care of yourselves, and I hope that you have a great time. I will see you all very soon.